All right, let us say, continue with the transmission and your questions if you wish.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you very much for this interaction. I feel like I'm here because of allowing a number of synchronistic events to flow.
Right.
And I really wasn't planning on asking any questions. And I actually wrote my name on that piece of paper because I thought it was maybe a door prize or something.
You wanted to win a door?
No. Yeah. So here I am, and the question that came to mind was that most of my life I've been sort of suppressing my passions and interests in order to be who I thought everyone else wanted me to be. And so I'm having trouble now figuring out what my passions are, what my dreams are.
Well, it's very simple. Very, very simple. As we said, you don't necessarily have to immediately come up with an overarching career, a lifelong project. You start simple. You start small. Every moment, you look around. You have options. Simple things, everyday things. All you have to do is feel which one at any given moment has even just the tiniest bit more attractiveness, the tiniest bit more excitement in it, and just do that first. Take it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Then look for the next one that has just a little bit more excitement in it than any other option. Do that next. This is what we mean when we say that synchronicity is the organizing principle. By giving you things that contain more excitement than anything else, synchronicity actually shows you in what order to act on these things. We assume you came here today because this excited you at the moment. Yes?
Yes.
Then all you have to do when this experience is over is stop and say, all right, what would excite me the most next? Take a walk, read a book, eat with a friend, make a phone call, see a movie, whatever it is, out of all the options available to you, pick the one that seems most exciting and act on it to the best of your ability with no insistence that it has to come to pass, and see what happens. And just keep doing that. It will eventually start building into bigger and bigger and bigger opportunities to allow you to exercise more action on more of your excitement. And then perhaps if it is relevant for you to have some sort of larger scale project or career or something that is representative of your excitement that way. And that doesn't mean there only has to be one expression. There can still be multiple expressions of an overall umbrella of excitement. But it will evolve into something larger. But it doesn't matter if it does, because if you just keep acting on what excites you the most, no matter what it is, you will always be acting on your excitement, and you will live a life full of excitement. You understand?
I understand.
It's that simple. Keep it that simple, and the ball will start rolling. That's all it takes.
I understand. I guess I see a lot of people being very passionate about different things, about their careers.
So what? You can use them as inspiration, but it's got to be done your way.
Right.
And you won't feel that until you start acting on it. Remember? Okay. You have to be the vibration first. Yes?
Okay, copy.
So, when you are allowing yourself to say, all right, it sounds exciting that I could just start acting on my excitement, you'll be in the proper vibration. And the things that need to happen will unfold in front of you. Your life will unfold as it needs to. You don't have to judge yourself or gauge yourself by anyone else's experience. In fact, you actually have no business doing so, because you're not them and they're not you. Right. You can use people as inspiration, or certainly you can use people as object lessons, but the idea is you still have to decide to do it the way that works for you. Doesn't matter how anyone else decides it works for them. You're unique. You have to do it in your unique way. That's what it's all about. Okay. Being yourself as fully as you can.
Thank you very much.
Is this helping?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
My name's, well, they named me Tasha anyway in this lifetime. I have several things I wanted to share with you.
Yes, yes.
I've been a therapist for most of my adult life.
Oh, all right.
And about 5 years ago, during a session with a client, I had an overwhelming, beaming, loving, surging energy surge through every cell of my being, lit up.
How exciting.
Yes. And then I got an instant download that I'm a family relative that has passed away and I'm here to love and support him. And so I asked my client, and he said, yeah, my dad. So we figured out it was his dad.
Yes.
And after that happened, I was searching for answers.
To what?
To what that was.
I thought you knew what it was.
Well, I knew that it was his father that had passed away, but that
Yes.
beaming love that's like beyond this world through every cell of my being could not
Yes.
have been him.
No, it was more of you.
Yeah, it was like my higher consciousness or my
Yes.
super. Yeah.
Because it needed to be experienced by you so that you could tap into the higher level and deliver the information that you needed to.
It was.
Remember, you have to go to the level
Yeah.
before you can get the information that is reflective of that level. So you allowed yourself to open up, go to that level, that's what it feels like, and then you were capable of doing what you needed to do to access the information you required to be of service.
So the next thing I did was I asked Bashar to take me onto a ship.
Me?
Yes. For 2 nights, I asked through my consciousness to take me on his his
Yes.
craft. And the
You
second
mean
night,
mine?
Yes.
Why are you
you're-
speaking about me in the third person?
Sorry. And I went to sleep, and I
Yes.
was in a cockpit. And
Yes.
I won't go into detail, but it was definitely not your race because
No.
this was a 7 or 8 foot race.
Well, that's how you interpreted it, yes.
Yeah, but I still got to go on the craft and
Yes.
fly through space.
All
So then
right.
after
Was that fun for you?
That was a lot of fun for me. I
All
can't wait until
right.
I can do it, even though it felt very physical.
Oh,
and I looked
you
down at my arms.
can wait.
I will wait. Okay, but the most important thing is this was June 16th. I was woken up by like a loud instrument in my ear,
Yes.
like really loud in my ear.
Yes.
And when I opened my eyes, I saw this being, and at
Yes.
first my mind's like, your eyes are playing tricks on you. You're not seeing, that's not really there.
Oh, all right.
And then she moved slightly, like forward, and of course she picked up my fear a little bit because she just woke me up with a
Yes.
really loud instrument in my ear.
Yes.
So she received back into the bathroom, and then this rotating ball of energy started levitating, coming towards my bed. And then she's like, here I am. No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. And then she went into the ceiling. Who was that?
Can't tell you that.
Why?
Not allowed to,
How did I know you were going to say that?
because you're psychic.
I knew you were going to say that.
You're psychic.
Okay. Well, I love
Why do you think that might be?
Because it's my journey to tap into that.
In this
energy.
case, yes, you're still in mid-process with that being. So we can't reveal too much. We can't, as you say, spill your beans.
Okay. Oh.
Not yet.
Yael?
Can't tell you that yet.
Paya?
You are in mid-process.
Okay.
You don't have to keep guessing.
Any-
We're not going to answer the question.
Is there any advice that you'd give me to connect better?
Yes. Did a color come to you in that incident, in that experience, or an object? Did something make itself obvious to you as being symbolically representative of that interaction? An object, a color, the sound, of course, you already have. Did it sound like something in particular, a particular instrument for you?
Feminine energy is the only thing that I can come up with.
Feminine energy.
Yeah.
You're saying that the sound that woke you up sounded like feminine energy?
I'm sorry. So you know with drummers, the round things that they hit?
You mean symbols?
Yeah. Well, that's what it sounded
Double
like.
entendre intended?
Like someone just slammed 2 of those in my ear, like really, really loud.
So then if you recreated that sound for yourself in a more comfortable way, what do you think it might do?
It was very uncomfortable.
I will repeat my question since you obviously did not hear it.
Yes, I heard it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What did I say?
You said if I recreated that sound, what would I experience?
You're leaving something out.
In
In a more comfortable way,
a more comfortable way.
which means not as loud.
So do I just go buy a few of those or what?
You can if you wish, if that works for you. But what we're saying is you were given the vibration that will give you more of a connection. If you recreate the sound symbolizes the vibrational frequency that will allow you to feel more in touch with that entity. Now, it doesn't, again, have to be a crashingly loud sound.
Yes.
But they had to get through to you.
Yeah, I'm a really deep sleeper.
So there you go. So if you just recreate what feels like the correct sound in a comfortable way, at a comfortable decibel level, that can be the permission slip that they were giving you to say, if you recreate this and let that vibration wash over you, you will be in the correct frequency to be able to interact with us more consciously. So you were given what you need. You were given the permission slip.
Thank you. Can I will hopefully maybe you'll give me the answer to this.
Maybe, maybe not.
I was coming home from a session. It was like midnight, and I was fidgeting with my stereo, and I was reaching an intersection, and I heard accident really loud in my head.
Yes.
And I look up, and this guy is in my entire lane, and I should have slammed into him and probably not be here right now. But if it weren't for him saying accident, really, I say him, but I don't know who it was.
Your guides.
Anyone specific? Don't I have several of them?
Oh, all right. It was Todd. Does that help you? Oh, no, wait. Maybe it was Matthew. Oh, no, wait. Maybe
John.
It was Fred.
John?
Oh, maybe it was John. Do you really need to know? Since you received
No.
the information in the way that you needed it, do you really need to know anything else?
Yes, I want to know why they intervened.
Because you would be dead.
Well, what if maybe I wanted to go though?
Obviously, that wasn't your path, or they wouldn't have intervened.
Okay.
Because it wasn't an intervention.
It wasn't?
No, in other words, you didn't want to go,
Right.
so that gave them the permission to shout it out.
Right.
If you had really timed it, that was the time to go, they would have been zipper-lipped.
I cannot believe. I mean, I should have slammed into this guy, and our tires maybe touched. It was just crazy.
But all those things, again, in some senses, are worked out for timing. It wasn't your time. They knew that. You knew that. And so they were capable of assisting you. Even if you had died, they would have told you it's not your time and sent you back.
Oh, that would have sucked.
No, it wouldn't, because it's not your time.
Well, I probably would have been pretty
Are
beat
you
up, though.
saying that you do not enjoy being where you are?
I'm like in the clouds most of the time.
Well, then you need to put your feet on the ground so that you can understand what you need from being in the clouds as well. It's a balancing act.
I know, that's what Treb tells me too, but
Well, there you go.
all right, thank you.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Are
the
you
symbols,
sure?
yes.
What are you so impatient about? Where are you in a hurry to be, other than where you are, which is the most important place you can possibly be, here and now? Where are you in a hurry to get to?
Out of here.
Why? You
'Cause it's
chose to
boring.
be where you are. Why are you in such a hurry to leave?
Because I'm bored.
Bored?
Yeah.
Don't you understand that there is no such thing as a boring situation?
Yes.
Only bored minds?
Yes,
So
Bashar.
why are you boring yourself?
Because I have an old dog that I'm kind of like waiting for him to pass.
So what?
Before I can like go out and get wild and live my life. Like he's at home right now. I have a camera on him, like, because he's crying, waiting for mommy to get home.
That's what you're using as an excuse?
It's not an excuse. I take him to the park every day, but
That's
yeah.
not what I'm saying.
Excuse
I'm
for
talking about the idea of the energy state you are choosing to be in. Do you think that's what your dog wants you to feel?
what? No.
Well, then why do you feel that way? Why? Why?
I have a very dysfunctional family.
And you are taking on all of those belief systems because they work for you? Or do they not work for you? Do you understand that you are a different person every moment?
Yeah.
Well, if you really understand that, then the person that you choose to define yourself to be, or could choose to define yourself to be, doesn't have a dysfunctional family, and never did.
Oh.
You are changing your history if you change yourself. You may still see them, but that doesn't mean that they have any effect on you, because you're the one that decides who you are.
I don't see them because they're so dysfunctional I can't be around them.
But yet you are still around them.
Energetically, yeah.
Well, there's no difference. You're accepting their energy as real for you. You're
It's
accepting their
heartbreaking.
ideas as real for you. They don't have to be. So why would you choose to accept them as real when that's not what you prefer to believe about yourself? Why?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Because it's the lesson I set out for myself. I don't know.
But the lesson is to let go of the things that don't work for you.
I just don't understand how family can treat somebody like that, you know?
Because they propel you in the direction you need to go by being exactly representative of the direction you don't prefer to go in. They gave you a springboard to push off from, not stick to. So don't stick to it. Spring off from it. Say, this is not what I prefer. They're giving you an opportunity to see more clearly what you do prefer by contrast, by comparison. So push away and be who you wish to be, who you prefer to be, who you actually are. Even though they may not act like it in their physical personalities, in their hearts, in their souls, in their spirits, that's actually what they would prefer that you do, is be yourself. And they will know that either in this life or after it, but it's your job to know it for yourself now.
Oh, I do know it. I've been
No,
shown...
you don't if you don't use it.
I do know it.
But
I
you're
do
not
know it.
acting like you know it. You're saying, I'm bored. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
That means you don't know it. Remember, if it's not in your behavior, if it's not in your energy, you may have an intellectual comprehension of the concept, but it's not in your bones. You don't know it. So know it. Know it to be true for yourself. Let it be in your behavior. Let it be true for you. And then you'll know it.
Thank you.
It's up to you. But please remember, you are never alone. You always have help. There is no reason for you to be bored. The universe is an exciting place.
I know.
Let yourself be excited because you're part of that exciting universe.
Okay.
Don't give in to the ideas that have nothing to do with you. The dysfunctions have to do with their own issues. They don't have to do with you.
I know.
All right. Act like you know it.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Our unconditional love to you.
Love to you too.
On a say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right? All right, thank you. First of all, thank you for the co-creation of this interaction, this day of your time, and the allowance of this transmission. We are always given a gift in being given an opportunity to interact with each and every one of you, for it expands our understanding of all the different ways that creation has of expressing itself. We would like to begin this transmission as we have titled it, Dare to Dream. And the idea is we know many people on your planet have dreams that they imagine can unfold in their lives. But quite often, the definitions, the beliefs that you hold on to, hold you back from really taking action on those dreams, because the definitions allow you to create all sorts of reasons why it won't work, definitions that seem to make things more difficult than they need to be, obstacles in your way that seem sometimes insurmountable. But a lot of that happens because of the conditions themselves that you place upon your dreams, your excitement, your passion. We remind you that the idea of acting on your passion is to do it for its own sake, not because of where you think it will lead, not because it has to have a particular outcome, not because the thing that excites you in that particular moment has to come to fruition or create a manifestation of a particular sort. By acting on your passion to the best you're able with zero insistence on what the outcome ought to be or why it's happening that way, you then stay in the moment and allow things to unfold in the most natural way, the most synchronistic way. Synchronicity being the organizing principle that will bring you the circumstances and situations and opportunities that are required for you to continue to act on your excitement in exactly the correct order, at exactly the correct time that those circumstances and situations and opportunities need to appear in your life. But the key to allowing that to flow naturally, automatically, smoothly, effortlessly, joyfully. The key is the very first word in the formula. Act on your passion. Many people will allow themselves to sort of drift in their dreams, spend time daydreaming about things that could be, imagine certain scenarios, and wish they could come true. But the idea is you have created for yourself, by choice, a physical experience. Therefore, in order to ground the idea of your passion, to ground and connect that energy to your physical reality experience, it is important, critical, to actually take some kind of physical action on your dream. Now, we understand that very often, again, sometimes this may simply be because of the definitions that you're buying into, but it matters not for the purpose of this illustration, that you may feel like there is nothing necessarily you can do to take action on the thing itself that you are imagining is representative of your dream. But that doesn't mean you can't take action. There is always some action you can take in some way, shape, or form if you will open your imagination wide enough. It may not necessarily be the kind of action you may take should a certain opportunity appear in your life, but it still needs to be activated by you. The formula needs to be activated. You need to throw the switch. So even if there is not an action you can see that you could take that is the kind of action you think would be representative of the thing you say excites you, you need to use your imagination to figure out and create what kind of an action would at least be symbolically representative. That will start the ball rolling. That will be enough to complete the circuit and allow the energy to begin to flow. And once the energy is flowing, then it will begin to accelerate things and allow synchronicity to function as the organizing principle, bringing you the next thing you need and the next thing you need and the next thing you need, each of which will appear in your life by containing a little bit more excitement than any other option. And they don't have to come in a form that looks like it has anything at all to do with what you imagine to be representative of your passion. All you need to do is pay attention to whether or not the passion and excitement is there in that thing that has arrived in front of your face. It is the thread of excitement and passion to follow, not the form in which it comes. Because you never know exactly why it needed to come in the form that it has. Sometimes, because of the definitions and reasons and conditions that you may have placed upon your dreams, in the way that you may have chosen to limit yourselves, consciously or unconsciously, sometimes your excitement has to be delivered in a way that may look like it has nothing at all to do with the dream, but the excitement knows it is the thing that will allow you to move. It is the thing that will inspire you to take some action so that you will then wind up in the place you need to be to actually receive what you need to receive that then may truly be connected to your dream. So that's why you have to have absolutely no insistence or assumption about acting on your passion, because sometimes the form in which it comes may not necessarily need to come to fruition. It may just be the thing that gets you to move, so you will wind up in the place where you need to receive the things you really need to receive. Now, the idea of action, again, as we have discussed from time to time, can even be symbolic, because when you infuse an action with the same level of excitement and passion, energy, that would be present were you acting on the thing itself that you may have visualized as your ideal scenario, the energy of that excitement itself is what will allow your body to read the thing you're doing, the action you're taking, as real. It's the excitement energy level that your body reads, not really the form in which the excitement comes. We know that sometimes you can attach all sorts of expectations to the form, but the body consciousness itself will respond to the energy before it will respond to the form. That's the first wave that you will receive, the first wave that will come to you will be the energy wave itself from your higher mind, through your heart, then to your mind, then to your eyes. So the idea is to allow yourself to go with the flow of the feeling, to go, as you say, with your gut, and allow yourself to generate the vibratory energy that your body will respond to as if the scenario you are creating is as real as anything in your physical reality. And once you allow your body to practice getting trained to respond to that vibration, it will be much easier for your vibration to drop all the things that are impediments and in the way and attract and let through to you the idea that is physically representative of that frequency. Again, it may not look like you think, but it will be exactly what you need. So, by way of example, by way of permission slip, we have a suggestion that can help train you into really paying attention to how to feel your way through this by taking an action that will generate the proper state of being that will get your body to be the most receptive antenna it can be and the most powerful transmitter it can be for the specific vibrational energy of what it is you need in your life that is representative of your ability and your path to live your dreams. So you have to be willing to dare to take that action. It may sometimes seem very silly on the surface. It may seem to have nothing at all to do with what you say you're passionate about. But as long as it is, at least to some degree, in your imagination, symbolically representative of it, your body will pay attention to it as if it was the actual physical thing. So we would suggest, as we have before, but now in a different way, we will say, that if you can find no particular action to take on the thing itself, allow yourself to create the following permission slip. Get a pad of paper. Get some pens or pencils, whatever medium you prefer, or paint, and allow yourself to draw to the best of your ability. Doesn't matter. You do not have to be Leonardo da Vinci. Draw to the best of your ability a representational scenario of your visualization of an ideal outcome. Now, we've talked about visualization and how to use it by letting the visualization pump you up to the proper energy level and then dropping the picture so that you're creating a space that the higher mind can fill based on the energy that the visualization allowed you to create within yourself. So this is another way of doing this that's a little bit more physical for you, so you actually have some physical activity rather than just keeping the visualization in your head, in your imagination, in your mind's eye. So when you have your visualization of the so-called ideal scenario, first, of course, understand that it is simply a symbolic representation. But draw it out. Actually draw it out to the best you are able physically so that you actually can see it with your physical eyes. When you do that, when you've done it to your satisfaction, when it feels correct to you, that you have included everything in there that to you represents the ideal scenario, when you've included everything that when you look at the picture gets you really, really excited about that manifestation, allow yourself then to take that physical picture and burn it. Burn it up. Watch it burn. Watch it crumble. Watch it go up in smoke. And understand that at that moment, every single thing about that scenario and every single thing in that image has been encoded in the smoke. And let the smoke rise to the heights. And let it spread far and wide. Don't burn your house down. Let it spread safely, far and wide. And let yourself know that now every single bit of that idea is now encoded in the atmosphere around you. It is now spreading out farther and farther. Even though you may no longer be able to see the smoke after it dissipates, it is spreading out as a bubble farther and farther in your physical world. And all it takes is one little atom to find where it needs to go. It will find its path. They will all find their path. And that will allow you to know that you are actually creating a physical connection of that vibrational scenario to your physical reality. And those little atoms will be going out and being your guides, your scouts, connecting to what they need to connect to create pathways back to you, trails like dropping breadcrumbs back to you of all the elements that you truly need. Again, they may not necessarily look like things in the picture, but when they come to you and contain that passion, more excitement than any other option at that moment, you will know that you are receiving the response, you are receiving the echo, you are receiving the connection, you are receiving the message that comes from what you have sent out, that atom by atom is connecting to all the things it needs to connect to, all the people it needs to connect with, and bringing back along that connective line to you, vibrationally, in that smoke, in those atoms, all of the energy, all of the things you need to allow you to call to yourself every single representation, every single symbolic representation of what was in that idealized picture. Again, it may not look the same. It might, but it may not. But it is by the feeling you shall recognize the opportunity as being connected to that picture and being the response of what you sent those atoms of smoke out to connect to. Does this sound like fun? I beg your pardon? Yes. Again, the idea is to also remember to act on your passion in the most passionate way. To be passionate about being passionate. For that is the precursor state to everything that really needs to happen in your life. Passion, excitement is your body's physical translation of the vibrational energy of your true essential being. So when you are willing in any way to act on your passion, even symbolically to entrain your body consciousness to recognize and get familiar through practice with that frequency, you will allow yourself to truly shift to a different reality that is far more representative of who you are, a far more representative reflection of who you truly prefer to be, and you will be most aligned with your vibration, your true essential vibration, just like that compass needle pointing to your magnetic north. None of what we're saying here is philosophy. This is physics, vibrational energy physics. We're simply giving you a different kind of switch with which to turn on your light and allow yourself to be able to see clearly that it will be reflected back to you, because there is nowhere else for it to go but here and now with you. Make sense? Yeah. All right, so have fun with it, the most fun you can have. Again, don't worry how the picture looks, as long as it is representative to you about the idea of the ideal scenario that you might be seeing in your imagination or your mind's eye. It will do just fine. And in fact, some of you may find that you'll have fun actually laughing at your own pictures. That can be part of it, and that's fine. So, do it if you wish, but take the action. See what happens. Many of you might be very surprised to see how quickly things might accelerate, because after all, when you burn things, what are you doing? You're accelerating the molecules. Therefore, that can be itself the representation of your acceleration, a reflection of the raising of your frequency. Yes? Not to burn you out, but so that you actually can burst forth into the world in a dynamic way. We thank you for allowing us to share this idea with you, this new permission slip with you. Have fun with it. And in return for the gift you are giving to us in allowing us to interact with you, I ask now, how may we be of service to you? You may begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish. The reason, again, that we encourage you to have zero insistence is because, again, by insisting on certain things that you think are the best possible outcome, you may actually be limiting a much better outcome from happening because you don't really know. You don't really know. You don't really know what the best outcome actually is. The first step in understanding this instruction manual is to know that your physical mind doesn't really know what it thinks it does. Let go. When you surrender, you're not giving up control. You are surrendering to the control you already have.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Thank you.
Just making sure you're all awake.
So I have a question about getting contact, like maybe the beginnings of contact from ETs.
You mean like this conversation
Like
right
you-
now?
Yes, in a sense. I feel
In a
like
sense, you are having contact with an extraterrestrial in this conversation.
yes, I find it feels like some beings are trying to get my attention and coming to me in dreams
Yes.
and images in my mind. But
Yes.
the situation is that I find that I'm struggling to pace myself as it's raising fear in me at times.
About what? What do you think
I
is
don't
going to
know.
happen?
Well, logically, I trust the process, but there are just a lot of fear energy that comes
But
up.
illogically, you don't.
Well, I guess the specific fear is
Is?
similar to the ayahuasca analogy you mentioned.
Which means what?
Well, opening myself up to maybe other beings that I'm.
Are you afraid you won't be able to handle it? Is that what you're saying? What are you saying? What are you afraid of? Be specific.
I would say that I'm afraid of being too open to.
What
to
does that
all-
mean? Do you have a negative definition of vulnerability instead of a positive one?
The fact that I'm like willing to connect with them, I don't want to open myself up to other negative types of beings.
Why would you? Why would you assume that's automatic? That's a definition. That's a belief. Why would you assume you're not in control of that, not in charge of that? Why would you assume that your intention can be countermanded?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm just.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have a good answer?
No, well, just the fear I feel when it gets closer.
You just drove right past the answer. I just gave it to you, drove right past it. It's in your control. What you are worried about is just another way of saying, I might, for some reason I can't imagine, choose something I don't prefer. Why?
I know what you're saying. I'm saying, like, in the moment when it feels like I'm getting impressions and whatnot,
Yes.
sometimes it raises a lot of fear energy.
And that only happens because you have the definition. You do understand that there's no such thing as an emotion in a vacuum, yes? You can't feel anything if you don't know what the definition is first. If I gave you a word and you had no definition for it and I asked you, well, how do you feel about that? You would go, I don't know, because I don't know what it means. But when I give you the definition, then you go, oh, that's what it means. Yes, now I can feel the emotions coming up, my relationship to it coming up, my beliefs coming up about it. You can't feel anything if you don't have the definition first. So when you say, well, this happens and I feel this, that's fine. But use the feeling. Understand what the feeling is there for. The feeling is there so you can trace it back to what you would have to believe is true in order to generate that feeling. So that if you don't prefer that feeling, you can find out what the definition is that's generating it and change the definition and hence change the feeling.
Okay, I see. How would I go about changing the definition? Because I think my definition is that, well, if I'm going to invite in these beings, then there'll be negative ones
Yes.
that might take the invitation as well.
Yes.
So
Well, why would you believe that that has any more likelihood of happening other than what you would prefer? That's a way to start exploring the definition. What is it about that concept that makes it seem more likely than the one that you would prefer? It isn't. It's just another belief system. It's just another kind of an experience. Why would you think it has any more likelihood of manifesting than the one you prefer?
well, Oh, I guess because I've experienced where fearful definitions can play out. And
Of
I'm
course
kind of aware
they
that I
can.
have them. And
Of course they can, but you see now you're going in a circle.
I see.
Because I just explained to you that the only reason you had those experiences is because of what you believed at the time. If you understand what we're saying now and you understand the mechanism we just described to you, why would you assume that that would keep happening?
I see.
Make sense?
Okay, yes.
It's that simple.
Okay.
Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. It's that simple. When you decide, oh, I get it. The only reason that happened is because I believed it would, and now I understand it's just a belief and I can change it, and that absolutely automatically means that it doesn't necessarily have to happen again. And if it does, then that means I haven't found the belief, and I'll keep looking for it, because when I do find that negative belief and truly let it go, I understand that by definition that I can't have those negative feelings again, because I have to have the definition first. You understand the instructions, in other words, and why they work.
I see. Okay.
Yes?
Thank you very much. That was
You are very
helpful.
welcome.
Yes. I'd love to continue talking to you. I have no other questions. Just want to say thank you for your work, and I've gained a lot from it, so thank you.
We thank you all for your work, because remember, as we have said, you're not a kindergarten class. You're a master class, because it takes real strength to come into a dense reality and transform this degree of darkness into light. You are a graduating master class. Never think of yourselves as being anything less. Give yourselves a hand.
Thank you, sir.
Or if you prefer to think of yourselves as something less, then by all means go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But that's your choice. We're just giving you our perspective of you. Because we know, not believe, we know the power that you are. We know what you're capable of being, what you're capable of experiencing in your lives. We know who you actually are. Therefore, know thyself.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
First of all, thanks for being here and thanks for doing this. I moved to this country last year, but I came across you in 2010.
All right.
And ever since, you've been a huge effect on my life. And
You have had the huge effect on your life, but we are happy to have made some suggestions that you believed would work for you.
Yes, and by some strange chain of events, I'm here talking
Oh,
to you. I guess
strange.
life is crazy.
Yes,
So,
it
thank
is,
you.
and it's supposed to be.
It is. I'm
Yes.
just experiencing
Otherwise,
it.
synchronicity can't work if life weren't crazy.
You're right.
I know, that's why I said it.
So, first question is, I'm Persian, I'm from Iran.
All right.
And we really cherish our ancient civilization.
Yes.
And one of the most famous one is Sasani. We call them Sasanis.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, and we call those kings back their shahs as well. So I understand
Yes.
your civilization is called Sasani and your
Yes.
star system is called Shah.
Shah, yes.
Is there any
It's not
connection?
an accident.
It's just crazy. Is there any connection? Because
Yes.
they...
It's
Like
not an
how?
accident, I said. There is a connection. It's part of the mystery that some of you need to solve about our relationship to all of you and how far back it actually goes.
It was ended in 1500 years ago, actually.
No, just the part you're aware of. It's still going on as witnessed by this conversation.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. How am I gonna get more information on that? Like, just, except for
Through synchronicity, just as you've gotten more information today through synchronicity.
you're right.
The information will come. Don't push it, don't rush it, it'll come.
Yeah.
There's a reason for the timing in understanding these things. It's part of the bigger picture, but
Yeah.
you have suspected and seen a small part of it, and that's good because it gives us a barometer for how close some of you are getting to seeing the bigger picture of your relationship to the stars.
And the symbol of Zoroastrianism is a Farvahar, if you know.
Define.
It's a symbol like a bearded man on a wing.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and
We don't have beards, though.
I know, but it looks like an Anunnaki figure, Anunnaki lord.
To some degree, yes.
Is that
It is
right?
representative of that, although it isn't exactly the way they used to look, but it is a symbol.
I understand. Okay, my second question is, Bashar, why do I feel so old? Not right now, but since when I was a child, my
Yes.
parents told me, hey, Arash, go play with those kids. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to
Well,
go
because
play.
you came into the life with certain themes that are a little bit, shall we just say, more adult. You
was
understood
like
that you
8.
didn't necessarily have to experience the typical kind of childhood state of mentality and thought patterns to explore the theme that you chose to explore. And you're seeing this more often. Look around at what children who are 7 and 8 are actually doing now. You will see that they are remembering more of who they are, which is why they feel like old souls.
The problem is...
That's not a problem. Don't define it that way.
I don't know, because...
What's
back
the problem?
I was 8, now I'm 32. I really feel old, like I'm 70. I'm looking at the horizon, waiting for this to end.
And
I'm not motivated.
I am 157. To me, you are a child. So now do you feel younger?
I don't feel that. I feel really old. I'm not motivated to do anything.
You're not motivated?
No.
Oh, well, that's why you feel old.
Just, yeah.
Because you're not following your passion. As I said, when you don't act on your passion, you're not living. When you're not living, you begin dying.
Yes.
And when you begin dying, you're going to feel old. So why aren't you acting on your passion and living in the moment so that you feel young? Why?
What if my passion is just acquiring knowledge?
Well,
It's
are you
always
really
been-
passionate about it?
Yes, I am.
Well, why doesn't that allow you to feel young when you're doing it?
When I do that, yeah, I do feel young.
Then why
But
don't you
life
keep doing
doesn't-
it?
Just
Why
it
don't you
doesn't
keep
pay
doing
my
it?
bills, you know.
Oh, really? Really? You don't have the imagination to allow the access and compilation of knowledge to pay your bills? Why don't you have the imagination to do that?
Good question.
Thank you. Can you answer it? Do you understand it's possible to think of a way to allow what excites you to pay your bills?
It seems too easy, too good.
It seems too good to be true?
Yes.
Then that's your problem, isn't it? That's the definition that doesn't work for you. Why should that be too good to be true? Why do you believe that?
I don't know. You should work hard for everything.
I'm not saying you won't work, but
No,
remember you have a
no.
saying on your planet. A labor of love is not a labor at all. You will be doing all the work you need to do, but it won't feel like work. It won't feel like an effort. But people may look at you and go, wow, he's working really hard, but look at him, he's having so much fun. It won't feel like an effort to you. When you're living in the moment, it doesn't feel like an effort. You just need to live in the moment more, and you'll see.
I know that.
It can
But-
support you. It can. That's what it's designed to do. You're just not letting it because you're holding on to beliefs that don't allow it to show you that it can support you. Let go of those beliefs. Those beliefs are the things that are making you feel old, not what you do that excites you. So let go and you'll feel young again.
I know, because most of my friends call me Grandpa. Here, Grandpa comes again.
All right.
I'm serious.
Well, why not just see it as a sign of affection or a mark that you know a lot of stuff? It doesn't necessarily mean that you actually have to feel old just because someone calls you grandpa. It can be a mark of affection. Can you use your imagination to make it a mark of affection, or are you only going to interpret the word as being old?
No, you're right.
All right. You get to decide what these things mean. So decide in your favor instead of against it.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
It's up to you. Does that help?
Of course.
All right.
Very quick last question.
Yes.
Have I ever been contacted by some sort of extraterrestrial
Yes.
before the age of 7?
Yes. You just don't remember. But you will.
I do kind of remember. But
Sort of, kind of, but not really. Not all of it. You will.
How like
Relax. Follow your passion. Everything will be unveiled in timing when you are who
In
you
my
need to be.
living time, you mean?
Yes. Unless you choose to die by not following your passion.
Yeah.
Then you will miss the
Nice.
opportunities that you've set up for yourself. Remember, the only way you can miss the appointments you've made is by spending your time and energy worrying that you will miss the appointments you made.
That's what I do always. So.
Then just get on with your life, act on your excitement to the best of your ability, let it prove to you that it can support you. It may not support you in the way you think, but it can support you. And just be in the moment so you can feel young and allow yourself to keep all the appointments that you've made, which will happen in perfect timing. No rush, no hurry, here and now.
Okay, cool. Thank
Thank
man.
you.
You're awesome.
So are you.
Hello, Tadeo.
Yes, I felt you coming, Nania.
Oh, good. So we're going to go ahead and take our lunch break.
Please then enjoy your nourishment break. We will resume this transmission afterwards. How's it going? Good?
Very good. Thank you. We will reconvene at 2 o'clock.
Good day.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very excited. I've
So
followed
are
you
we.
for a while, and this is great.
Yes.
Glad I got chosen. So kind of touching on what we talked about just previously here, you talked about people having totally different pasts based off of a present belief that's
Yes.
changed.
Yes, because you are a different person with every change you make. Once you understand that in a very literal way, you will understand that that means you have to have, linearly speaking, a different history in order for that history to have made you the person you are.
So what do we do with the memory of that, though? Because obviously, as humans, we have memory, and we'll remember the person that
Memory
we were.
is created in the present, and by the way, just so you know, you don't actually have all the memories you think you do.
That was my next question.
Sometimes you actually change enough that you don't actually remember anything else, and what you think of as your past is something that you just created, but what comes with it is a feeling like it's always been that way and that it's always been your memory, and that's not necessarily the case.
And we wouldn't know otherwise. That's
You
the
may
point.
not know otherwise. Sometimes you might, because you might want a comparison. You might want to see that you have changed. You might want to prove to yourself you've changed by comparison. But very often, you won't know. Just as we have told all of you that even collectively, you've got different histories that none of you remember at all. Collectively. What you think of as your history now, oh yes, this happened in 1980, oh yes, this happened in 1950, those are the memories of the present history. You had a different history before, and you would have had different memories of it. But you won't know that because it doesn't make sense for you, collectively, to have memories of a history that is no longer relevant for you. Now, some people are beginning to experience multiple histories. This has been labeled the Mandela effect, where you're beginning to realize that you actually have different histories, that people remember things differently than you do. And it's not just because of faulty memory. They actually remember things differently than you might, because they are remembering a different history. And you can still see that. You can still see other people remembering different histories. In the future, in the years to come, there will only be the collective history of those that are in agreement to be within a particular parallel reality. But for now, you can still see, to some degree, the different histories. So you can understand that you are shifting. Does this help?
Yes, no, very interesting.
Yes.
A lot to think about there, which kind of leads to my other questions. I've pondered the idea of parallel realities and parallel lives quite a bit.
Yes.
Inevitably, my question comes down to, who am I in relation to all that? Because if there are infinite versions of me in
Yes.
infinite timelines,
Yes.
What makes me in that experience? And I mean, given that we're supposed to be sovereign beings creating our own reality,
You are.
How does that work? How does that? How am I me and everybody else that is me themselves?
They're
as
not
well?
you. They're themselves.
So they're completely separate
Yes.
from me in that sense that I am my own sovereign individual.
And so are they. And it's your perspective that makes you you. Their perspective is slightly different. That's what makes them them.
And we'll still make cross connections
You
with
might.
those people?
You might. You don't necessarily always have to, but you might. If it serves you, sure.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Enough.
All right. I understand that higher dimensional concepts can sometimes seem a little confusing. That's all right. You'll get used to it.
Okay, so then next step, you've mentioned that in this new age of transformation, the idea of physical death isn't necessarily one that needs to be experienced.
Well, it's more likely than not that you will still, more often than not, make a transition from physical experience to non-physical experience. You will probably also experience, many of you, living much longer because you're living more in the moment. When you live more in the moment, you don't actually create as much of an experience of time, and therefore you become ageless and appear to live longer. But it's just because you're living more in the moment.
So it's not a matter of years necessarily, it's about the experience and the time that is experienced.
Yes, it'll translate into years from your linear perspective. It won't necessarily feel like that to the person living it. You'll just feel like you. And before you know it, you turn around and you're 300 years old from everyone else's perspective.
Wow.
Wow. You see, this is one of the reasons why we say when you do what you love, you're living in the moment. You all know the experience. When you're really focused on something that you're really passionate about, really engaged with, do you notice the passage of time? Not really. Oh, it feels like I've been here for about 10 minutes. I look up and everyone says it's been a couple of hours. Most of you have had this experience, yes? Where the time seems to fly by because you're so in the moment. Well, the secret is, if you actually experience, if you feel like it's only been 10 minutes, you've only aged 10 minutes. Even though you reconnect with everyone an hour later in order to keep up with everyone else and be in agreement with them as to what time it is. But time is very malleable. And when you actually only feel like it's been 10 minutes, you've only aged 10 minutes, and that's how you live longer.
Does it work the other way? If you feel like it's dragging, you're aging more?
Yes, because you're paying more attention to time. So you're creating more of it. So the paradox is it drags out. You're creating more details than you need to, and therefore you have to experience all those little details, and therefore everything gets very tedious. You get overstuffed with time.
Okay, so that's interesting because my motivation, my reasoning behind a lot of these questions is one of my primary challenges and fears has been in the idea that I don't have enough time.
Of course you do. You have exactly the perfect amount of time you set up for yourself to explore whatever it is you were going to explore. And one of the wonderful things going on now in this age of transformation on your planet is that you can actually complete one theme and actually still create a new theme without dying.
So can you elaborate on that?
I just did. You can complete one theme, the one that you may have set up for yourself in general to begin with, and you can actually then stay physically alive and decide to start exploring a different theme without physically dying.
So is that a conscious decision? I mean, how...
Not necessarily, although it can become one. But the idea, again, is to start from the preposition that you have exactly, correctly, and precisely the amount of time you need. Precisely.
And that's...
Because it's not really about time.
That I don't have.
It's about timing. It's about timing. The only way you experience, again, like we said earlier, not having enough time just means you're spending your time worrying that you won't have enough time, which doesn't give you enough time. Because you're using your time for something other than what you could be using it for.
And that's been my experience. And you saying what you've said just now kind of makes me connect the dots to realize that I have created more time for myself to get to those milestones that I've been trying to get to. Or not trying, but seeking to get to.
Yes, yes, yes. but again, you will get to them if they are part of what's relevant for you to experience. Again, you've made all the agreements and you've made all the appointments that you need to keep. Just keep moving, acting on your passion, no insistence on the outcome. You will keep all the appointments. The only way to miss the appointments is to spend time worrying you will miss the appointments.
So on that note,
yes,
let's say we worry about the appointments and we theoretically miss an appointment.
yes.
Do we reschedule if it's that important? How does that work?
Sometimes you might, but there are different ways of rescheduling. Sometimes a person may reschedule by actually physically dying and then shifting to another reality where they are, quote unquote, still alive.
So then that new person in that new reality that hasn't died, that they step into,
They don't step into it.
what do they do?
The focus of consciousness simply shifts to a place where they can have the time to have the experience.
Okay, well, my question was more on the lines of, we were talking about parallel people, parallel me's.
Yes, but they're not you.
Well, so if I'm going to go down a sci-fi script route here,
Yes.
Say, you know, I die and I choose to go into, to have the experience of another lifetime.
Yes.
That picks up right where I left off.
And you can do that. As an experience, you can do that. Remember that there's a difference between what you create as an experience and the description of what's mechanically actually happening. So you can create the experience that that's what happened. That doesn't mean that the mechanism is accurately described by the experience.
So I'm not stepping into someone else's reality and destroying my doppelganger.
No.
And
No.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
It's a dance. And the timing is such, all right, I'll put it in your terms, all right?
Thank you.
If it's infinite, yes,
Yes.
then there are going to be versions of you that will also want to shift at the same time you do. So you'll dance and trade places. You're not removing anyone from what they need to experience. They make a choice that's the equivalent vibrationally of your choice, and you give each other what you need.
So this is all just my ego mind trying to figure out how things work and...
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Look at it this way. Imagine you have a disk, and the disk is full of holes. And behind that disk, you have another disk that has different colors on it. And as you rotate the disk behind the one with the holes, you see different colors appearing in the holes. But the holes don't change. Is this making some sense?
Yeah.
You are changing the frequency of that hole. So that hole has a different experience, but that hole is still the same hole. So it's not like it's replacing another hole. It's shifting its frequency to have a different experience that seems to be the experience of a different hole. And it is a different whole for itself, but it's still the same whole having a different whole experience. Does that help? Or did that just confuse you even more?
A little bit of both, but I understood a little more before you actually explained that.
Oh, all right.
So
Then forget
hopefully it helps
everything I
someone
said.
else. Maybe it helps somebody else.
All right.
Okay, so next quick thing. I have what I believe is a small case of tinnitus.
I don't do health readings.
Okay. So I'm just wondering if it could be anything but a physical...
There may be a physical representation of other levels of energy that you're not processing yet. Because
Okay, so-
sometimes other levels of energy will sometimes sound like high frequency pitches that you hear.
Because I've always had very sensitive hearing. And
All right.
it's something that I'm a very...
It may be becoming more sensitive in the sense of hearing higher frequencies that you couldn't hear before.
Perhaps, because it has gotten... I've noticed it more.
All right.
And I mean, I do go to shows, I experience loud sounds,
All right.
but usually it goes down, and I have noticed that it recently has
All
been
right.
very present for me.
I would suggest this. If there is a physical component, you'll find out if a physical component needs attention. If you simply move forward by acting on your passion to the best you're able, no insistence on the outcome, and allow yourself to get used to the higher frequency energy, and as you get used to the higher frequency energy, if there is a reason for you to be attentive to the physical component and have something corrected, then the higher frequency energy of the organizing principle of synchronicity will bring you the information you need to tell you need to go and see an ear specialist.
Okay.
That's how it's all connected.
Okay.
Yes?
All right.
Does that help?
That helps.
All right.
Lastly, a quick story. It was a dream I had a long time ago, and I just thought it was funny, and I'm sure it's connected to some sort of program going on out there. But I basically found myself, from where I remember in the dream, in a cafeteria-like setting, metallic stuff everywhere. I was with a group of large people, probably about the size of this crowd here.
Yes.
Along the edges of what I remember, there were overseers of sorts.
Yes, you're having a symbolic memory of an actual experience aboard a craft.
Well, what I remember, and why I'm telling this story, I think it's a little funny. We were all sitting down, and I had the understanding that we were going to have a meal, that we were going to sit down and have sustenance of some sort.
Yes.
And I got up kind of upset because I guess I woke up or I realized what was going on, and I shouted out to everybody saying, hey, what's the deal? We're out here on this special craft. Why are we getting regular food? Because they were trying to give us like burgers and fries and steak, and I knew the trick and I wanted something different. So I assume I wasn't following the program, and everybody was shocked. That was the sense that I got from everybody else in the room.
You're correct. That was a little bit funny. The idea is it's part of the training program, not of you, but of them. In other words, the phase that the hybridization agenda is in is attempting to help the hybrids understand your culture and get used to blending in and doing things, at least to some degree, the way that humans on Earth do them. So the idea of serving you food that they believed was typical food for a human was their training course of what to serve humans.
To serve man?
Yeah, but not in the negative way.
Right.
You're not on the menu.
No.
But the idea is they were being given an opportunity to practice how to give food to humans and what kind of food humans say they generally appreciate. So it's all right that you sort of saw through what was going on, but that's what it was for. You're helping to train the hybrids fit in to Earth society a little bit more by giving them a chance to behave and act out things that are common on your planet, like serving food to someone. Because these things are very alien to them, very foreign to them. They don't understand a lot of these things. Even the idea of putting food on a plate is alien to them. Why do you need a plate? Why do you need a fork? Why don't you just pick it up with your fingers? Why do you eat that anyway? Blah, 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 blah. They have a million questions that you take for granted because you were raised to think that all these things are normal in your culture. So you're participating in that. Thank you very much. And it's all right that you sort of woke up and saw what was going on. There is a little bit, because they know how most of you do react when you suddenly realize what's actually happening, there is a little bit of a kind of a hypnotic screen in those experiences so that you will kind of go along with the program. It's not an attempt to control you, but it's an attempt to assuage your physical mind enough that it doesn't get in the way, but your physical mind woke up and realized that this was sort of a play act. And hey, what's going on here? But now you know.
Okay. Lastly on that.
No, you had a lastly.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
I'll
Fair
keep
enough.
you to your word.
Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.